Yo, yo, what up? This is Johnny. My name is Johnny, and this is live with Johnny. Yo, I had came across an article the other day, or today actually, just a little bit ago, about Donald Trump and a possibly terminal illness. I was like, what? And like, you can look at him and kind of tell something's not right. The way he talking, the way he moving, how he do his speeches like this, like to the side, where you're supposed to be upright, especially if you're presidential, and he leans over to the side like this, not back, but just kind of leans over to the side like this, and the lean gets worse and worse. And there are so many signs. It's like he got a cold. It's just the way he walked, the way he looked, his skin is peeling off. Ugh. All right, but we got this video. I want y'all to take a look at this, and y'all gotta tell me what y'all think. Like, this dude is on it. Check this out.
Yourself for today. So in just a second, a visibly confused Donald Trump has no clue what executive order he's signing. He makes it obvious he's lost. We'll talk about that. We have Trump getting special treatment. They're a special drug for a terminal illness. This is what's now being reported. This is what's now floating around out there. Huge deal, not getting nearly enough attention. We'll dive into that as well. We also have later on, Fox News is panicking over Democratic socialists winning absolutely everywhere, and you simply love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We have Joe Rogan truly hitting rock bottom, and now we're crossing the line into complete unforgivable territory with the misinformation that he's spreading. And also, Kristi Noem's big titty husband cannot stop getting caught. He is the king of getting caught. So we'll talk about that as well. We also have much more. You guys know the deal, man. Everybody do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon. That helps out big time and costs you nothing at all. You could also support the show on Patreon. That link is below. Remember, y'all, there's real independent media. I've never talked to an advertiser, never done an ad read, never will. You guys have made that possible. Thank you for everybody who gives $2 a month or $5 a month or tips with that thanks button on YouTube. That goes a very long way. You guys fund the show from the ground up, and we have the default ads on YouTube, and that's what we do here, man, and I'm very proud of that. Of course, you can also sign up for Crystal Kylan Friends on Substack and go sub to Corin's World and come hang out with us on Monday nights. It's a lot more laid back, a lot more fun than here, where, as I always say, we are covering the rapid destruction of the country and the world. Okay, so let's start with this right here. So Donald Trump in the White House signing an executive order. As you're about to see, he has no idea what's going on. No clue what's going on. Let's watch, and then I'll show you some more. Here we go.
So we're going to be investing in American quantum leadership like never before to stay ahead of the pack. We're way ahead right now. We'll keep it that way. The second order I'm signing directs federal agency to transition to what is called quantum cryptography. Do anybody know what that is? You're going to hear very soon, so you're going to find it.
Cryptography? You mean cryptography? Bro, as I always tell you, his low filterness has now become no filter. And he goes, does anybody know what that means? Does anybody know what that means? Because I certainly have no fucking idea what we're talking about here.
I'm signing directs federal agency to transition to what is called quantum cryptography. Do anybody know what that is? You're going to hear very soon, so you're going to find it interesting. Cryptography for their computer.
Oh my God, man. Oh my days.
We are in trouble.
Now, I'm just saying, if I was president, and I would venture to guess if many of you were president, I would never sign an executive order that I didn't know what the fuck I was signing. He doesn't know what quantum means. He doesn't know what cryptography is, or cryptography, as he said. Literally, like, fumbling around it. Does anybody know what this means? Does anybody know what we're talking about over here? So, as Chris Mowry points out, if Joe Biden said he didn't know what he was signing in the Oval Office, I think every right-wing pundit would have Botox melting off their face from the rage. Fox News would never shut the fuck up about it. They would talk about it literally for years. Tap Jaker would have added a whole new chapter to his book.
Yeah, you know they would have.
Biden's cognitive decline. But
Yep.
Trump does it, and you are only going to hear about it from this Aaron Rupar post and from this show right here. That's it. That's it. And that is fucking criminal, if you ask me. No clue. No clue what he's signing. None whatsoever. Also, he continues with the delusion. He goes over on Live Social, and he says, "My real poll numbers are the highest they have ever been. Thank you, President DJT." This is incredibly disturbing, because it's either rank lies or it's just incredibly delusional. But either way, he's clearly going to try to portray this into stealing the midterms and stealing 2028. As he said the other day in a speech he gave in Pennsylvania, maybe I'll run for a third term. I kind of want to run for a third term. But he's saying his poll numbers are the highest ever. At the exact time, by the way, it is the lowest they've ever been. I'm not exaggerating here.
That's crazy.
We just covered it the other day. One poll came out, he has a 30% approval rating. Prior to that, his lowest was 32. We're going to get a 20% banger. We're going to get like a 29% banger, 27% banger, somewhere in there. I mean, we are approaching world record territory here, man. We're approaching unheard of depths. This is insanity. And as everybody hates him, everybody's furious. The country's falling apart at the seams. He's making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. He's humiliating himself, like with the reflecting pool disaster. He goes, "Everybody loves me. I've never seen anything like it. People just they keep telling me, sir, you're running the country better than anybody has ever run a country before." So we also have this. Look at this. This is from Jake Sherman. He says the following. Breaking. President Donald Trump has canceled the signing of the housing bill until Congress passes the Save America Act. Now, let me pause to point out, the Save America Act is his attempt to steal the election.
Yeah.
It's his attempt to ban all mail-in voting, okay? That's what he's doing here, on top of the ballot purging and the ballot spoiling and trying to get the states to turn over all their voter roll data. Just open attempts to rig it as much as humanly possible, okay? He's saying, I'm not going to sign the housing bill, which is an attempt to address a crisis. I'm not going to sign that until you let me steal the election, is what he's saying. So Jake Sherman says the stage is set at the Capitol. House GOP leadership is literally on stage right now touting the bill. And Trump goes on Live Social and says, "Today's housing news conference and signing is hereby canceled until such time as we pass the desperately needed Save America Act, which I consider to be a national emergency." So he goes out there and he says this. Honestly, this should come as no surprise to anybody. Even though he's shooting himself in the dick, even though he's giving the Democrats a massive gift, even though he's pissing off people in his own party, this should come as no surprise. He's pathetic. He's delusional. He's desperate. And he publicly said previously, or not publicly, I guess it was in a meeting, but President Trump told Speaker Mike Johnson in a private conversation this week that, quote, "No one gives a shit about housing," according to 4 sources who heard the speaker recount the conversation. Punchbowl News reported this a little while back. Quote, "Nobody gives a shit about housing," he said. I've never heard a more out-of-touch thing in my entire life. That is insane. That is right up there with him saying, "I don't think about Americans' financial situation at all." Wow, you're president of the United States, and you just gave the middle finger to over 300 million people. That is ludicrous. Or like when he said, "We can't afford daycare, we can't afford Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. We got a war to fight." This is all stuff he said, again, because his cognitive decline is so severe, he's gone from a low-filter guy to a no-filter guy. But I'm still not done. You know, he shows up, and now reporters are pressing him, "Hey, man, isn't it kind of important to get housing under control because it's so unattainable for so many Americans? Isn't this super important?" And listen to his insane reaction.
Buying a home is unattainable for so many Americans. Is this election important to you than resolving the housing crisis?
This is every election's important. We're doing very well. I want a lot of communists to come in. I'm saying it a little bit differently, that they're pushing our communists, and this country is not going to have communists. Thank you.
Hey, isn't housing really unattainable? And isn't it kind of messed up for you to like slap down this bill, which is going to address the housing crisis and help people out? And he goes, "The Democrats want communists. They want communists. I'm here to save the day and make sure you'll never get a house." You're the bad guy here. I hope you realize that. You're telling Americans, fuck your housing situation. I don't care. Be homeless for all I care. You're saying that, and then you're going, "The Democrats are communists. They're going to do things like make sure you can never own a house." I don't know if you guys saw this, but Kash Patel's girlfriend will now be performing at the Freedom 250 event after many other artists rejected the event because Trump, of course, came out and said, "We're going to make it a Trump rally. It's America's 250th birthday, but we're going to go ahead and make it a Trump rally." And this is not a joke. Alexis Wilkins, what a great honor to be a part of the 250th birthday of this great nation. When I first saw this, I thought this was a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. Kash Patel's shitty girlfriend, who's definitely not a honeypot, definitely not an op, definitely not working for some unnamed other government. She went from singing at fucking gun shows and NRA events, when nobody wanted to listen, to now singing at this event where nobody wants to fucking listen. I also saw, I don't know if this one's real or not, but that Lee Greenwood guy or whatever his name is, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I'll suck Trump's dick. Like, that guy's gonna, like, this is a joke. It's the 250th birthday of this country, and now everybody's disgusted by it. There's not a single person that's not like, what the fuck is going on here? Trump giving a rally that we heard 789 other times. Even Matt Walsh is like, bro, reel it in a little bit. This is getting kind of wacky. Performances nobody wants to fucking hear. I mean, shit, they've even downgraded from Kid Rock. And Kid Rock's an F-tier performer. Kid motherfucking Rock. Right? All right, but I'm still not done because I played this for you yesterday, but it goes to show you just how much his brain is failing to work anymore. He's asked about the reflecting pool, and listen to this.
Part of what's curious about this situation is we stood here with you in April when you first revealed the plans.
I said what?
In April, you showed us pictures of what you were going to do at the pool, and you said you had a guy who was going to do it in a week for $1 million.
Well,
It's been
you
2 months
just
and
say
$16.5 million.
Yeah, okay, ready? Barack Hussein Obama, have you ever heard of him?
You said you were going to do it for a week and it was going to be $1 million. Now it's 2 months and it's $16 million. Have you heard of Barack Hussein Obama? That's right up there with a, sir, why are you not signing the housing bill? The Democrats are communists. They're communists. Oh, my word. Okay, but I saved the best for last here. Ready? In April, a 79-year-old man with high blood pressure got special access to an experimental Eli Lilly weight loss drug. Trump was 79 years old in April, and his physicals routinely show he suffers from high blood pressure. Okay? Listen to this. So, Traditide or something like that is the name, and it's basically like a GLP, like Ozempic on steroids, Wegovy on steroids, right? And listen to this breakdown here because this is staggering.
This fat fuck has been taking an experimental weight loss that no one else has access to in an attempt to keep his sleep apnea, pulmonary hypertension, congestive heart failure from killing him sooner. I'm a physical therapist with a doctorate in my field and 14 years experience working in home health care, treating geriatric patients, many with sleep apnea, heart failure, pulmonary hypertension, bullshit that he has. Lizzie Lawrence from Stat News has learned that Eli Lilly and the FDA have allowed persons to gain access to the drug, Retatrutide is its name, through the FDA's Compassionate Use Program, a pathway to patients with serious and immediately life-threatening medical issues access to experimental. Let me make sure they're letting him use it because the patient has serious and immediately life-threatening medical issues.
Bro. No, we all know that, and we've all talked about it, and I've given you all the theories of the medical issues. But to have it in black and white like that really is something. No, it's not. It's not for him. He's not the one medical exemption that was given for this experimental drug at 79 years old with high blood pressure and obese, which he fits all of those things. And also, he's the only one to be get special treatment. No, it's not him, actually. We don't know what you're talking about.
A senior clinician at the National Institutes of Health requested the drug to treat the patient for refractory obesity with obstructive sleep apnea and pulmonary hypertension version of the disease. Lawrence reached out to the White House for comment before publication. They said no comment. After publication, they said it's not President Trump. That's all. It's fucking President. They're trying to address his nussy-related sleep apnea, congestive heart failure, and pulmonary hypertension primarily through weight loss. And the reason they go to these lengths is because this motherfucker eats shit all day long, famously hates exercise. This lets us know that he should weigh roughly 300 pounds, at the least, if not for taking an experimental weight loss drug. But let me be clear, you're not looking at a classic sleep apnea patient. His sleep apnea and pulmonary hypertension is a result of his congestive heart failure. In such bad shape has resulted in systemic disease upstream his heart, which is why you have this in the feet and ankles. Many heart failure patients cannot lie flat on their back and sleep because their internal organs push up against their diaphragm and they cannot take a deep enough breath to actually go to sleep and remain asleep. This is all a result of his heart being shit, and they're trying to address the issue from an angle that he'll actually put up with, which is a weekly injection. At this point, he's on 62 days of borrowed time. Who did he borrow the time from? The rule of law.
Let's break this down and think about this further. One of the things that he's bragged about in the past too, is that he never sleeps. He talks about how he never sleeps. Now, to be fair, there is this thing that exists called a super sleeper, where on 5 hours sleep, you feel like the rest of us on 8 hours. However, it could just be all fluff. It could just be all bullshit that he says he sleeps at all and it doesn't affect him whatsoever. What we've seen now is he can stay awake in meetings during the day, but at night, he's wide the fuck awake at 4 a.m. on the toilet. And so that's evidence of cognitive dysfunction. That's evidence of dementia. The part of his brain that regulates the circadian rhythm is breaking down, okay? That's not good. That's not good. Also, we've seen the other day, we saw from a picture at the G7, I believe, they zoomed in, pinprick on both of his fingers, and is an indication that dealing with diabetes. What are they also used for? Diabetes. These drugs are used to treat diabetes, okay? He mentioned congestive heart failure. The reason why that is likely is because he had venous insufficiency, they say. That's when his ankles swelled up, right? But if he actually had chronic venous insufficiency, he would have been dealing with the swollen ankles for a very long time. He wasn't. They came out of nowhere, okay? Acute ankle swelling like that is a sign of congestive heart failure. It's not the more benign chronic venous insufficiency. It's, you're swelling because your heart is not pumping the blood effectively through the rest of your body. That's what we're talking about here, okay? Never the mini strokes. We've talked about the mini strokes. We've talked one side of his face, grouping, falls deep in public. Looks certainly mini stroke in the recent past. He did in the cameras for at least a week. Remember, they went away for a week, and everybody was like, "Where the fuck is Trump? He usually can't stay away from fucking cameras." He always disappears at the beginning of every month to get some sort of action. I've speculated Lekembe for the Alzheimer's, which runs in his family, which he's showing evidence of. Right? But now they're saying also he's taking this drug to make him lose weight rapidly to try to keep his ass alive. They're trying to impact the congestive heart failure by reducing the obesity massively, which would reduce the stress on the heart, right? This is basically what they're saying here. Bro, he is barbecue chicken.
Wow.
And you know what one of the big giveaways is? Just look at his fucking face, right? I'm not sure he's ever in public anymore where he doesn't look like shit, where his eyes aren't like at least 50% shut, where he doesn't look like weirdly swollen, where his features look bizarre, where he looks haggard, where he sounds like shit, where he can't really lift his arm like at the G7 when he went to shake Macron's hand and he couldn't lift one of his arms very high. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on half the time. As I always told you, his dad died with Alzheimer's, which means his risk is up to 15% higher because of that to get it.
Wow.
He clearly lost his impulse control. He has behavioral disinhibition. He has a phonemic paraphasia all the time. He confabulates. He has a decline in verbal complexity, repetition and fixation, sundowning, gait abnormalities. It's all there, bro. All the signs are there. So, I mean, shit, what else is there to say about this? This is, they are hiding something massive from us. And we're getting little hints nonstop. I would be shocked if that one exemption wasn't the president of the United States. I think it is, and I think they're doing it as a last-ditch effort to try to buy him more time. And finally, let me give you Representative Ted Lieu, Democratic congressman. He went and said it out loud. He called out the thing that we're all witnessing, all the reports of, is he taking this drug? And why is he taking this drug? Oh, shit, it's to try to stave off terminal illness? Listen to what he says here. Let's get it.
Thank you, Chairman Aguilar.
Listen.
Inflation is up. Grocery prices are up. Utility costs are up. Housing prices are up. We have a bipartisan housing bill that both the Congress and Senate passed. There was supposed to be a big signing ceremony today in the Capitol. And then all of a sudden, Donald Trump decides he's not coming to sign the bill.